as data visualization. Let's see basically what is data visualization and how it is different from our traditional business intelligence. So the data visualization uses the visual perception to its advantage. It basically represents large amount of data than what you could typically do with a pie chart or bar chart and you can absorb. And it certainly has to be an engaging and a memorial experience so that it leaves a good amount of understanding of data and a good amount of the ability to kind of bring out insights from the data which are actionable. Right? It moves the data away from the traditional BI tools that have been used in the BI tools. Like for in this example where the data is actually plotted on the basketball field itself. So in the background you can see a light basketball field, and you can see that this person, Kevin Durant, the way he has been shooting goals at the goalpost, and where he has been very potent and dangerous based on the color coding and the number of attempts. You can see that the larger the hexagon, he has got more number of attempts, and the redder the color, the red deep color is where he has been very dangerous. So you as an opponent team now exactly knows how to defend Kevin Durant and which is his strength. He is a person who is actually more of a straight shooter. So if you kind of stop this person right at the front of the post, you may manage to probably save some of the goals for you. So this kind of almost captures the entire profile for Kevin Durant as a player on a single small sheet, where you can actually start creating some insights and tactics in terms of how do you deal with such a player. Right? So it conventionally takes away the way of representing large amount of data in tables, in some of the older graphics, and it makes it very, very intuitive for people who want to use the data, can readily start inferring and using the data. So that's basically what the data visualization promises us. Has it been a new technology or a new trend? I just probably want to spend 2 minutes on history. Not that everybody likes history, but it might be very useful to look at two good examples that have been used in past to basically prove a point or to make a point. Right? And the title has been put there on purpose. It's certainly not a 21st century technology. It has been used since 18th centuries to make a point or to prove a point. If you have seen these stories before, there's a great example, some of the ones that have been referred repeatedly in industry and specifically in data visualization to understand the power of data visualization. If you look at the left hand side, it's basically a story from 1850s from London, where John Snow was trying to research huge number of deaths in one of the cities closer to London, and you can see that he has used a simple map. Let me just zoom it up for you. What he did was simply started to put a single line for every death on the street beside the houses, and he just basically went around to do the survey and marked a single line for every single survey. London at that point in time was thinking that these deaths are happening because of some airborne diseases or viruses, but John was very quick to infer that deaths are happening very rapidly and quickly in the areas which are very close to this pump, and there is some water contamination that's happening, and that's causing the death. He was the first person to say that cholera is a waterborne disease and it spreads through dirty water, and London was in complete denial, saying that our water qualities are very high, it cannot be the case. Later on they figured out that there was a leakage in the underwater drainage systems which was leaking huge amount of dirty water into the good water or into the pump. There stands the pump. It still stands in the London, in the city. If you basically visit there, you will find this in his memorial. The pump still stands there. That's essentially the power of data visualization. And on the right is also an equally a very strong story from Nightingale Florence. She has done some good amount of work in India as well. So if you kind of do some research, you will find that she was doing some good amount of work in India during British times as well. She was attached with military, but she was serving as a nurse or a assistant doctor in the medical teams. And she figured out that the deaths are actually not happening because of wounds in the ward, but they are happening because of the uncleanliness and the wrong means of treating patients, or the unclean equipments that are used during the operations. So she managed to basically put in a whole new theory around how to make sure that the equipments are sterilized and used properly. And you can see that over a period of about 24 months, she was able to drastically get down the number of deaths, which is shown in the pink and the black color. You can see that has gone down drastically, right? Again, this is 18th century. So the data visualization has been used to make a point. It's a very powerful tool. If you use it rightly, it basically brings out the message very quickly, and people are able to infer in terms of what needs to be done. Yeah, with that, let me move on. And then, yeah, the flip of the slide was again intentional, and I don't have basically opinion of hands out here, but I hope almost all of you were able to read what was there on the screen. And let me bring it back for you. And probably you were able to read it despite the fact that there are so many spelling mistakes out there. But you were able to still read it, because our brain doesn't necessarily have to read every single letter to kind of make sense out of it, right? This is basically the power of our perception. The brain basically perceives information and it processes using some of our autonomous parts of the brain, where you don't have to really read to or see through the entire data. This is called as the visual advantage. Right? What makes it so unique? For example, out here, you can see that there are different characteristics of shapes and visuals that make it very very strong, and it kind of catches your subconscious even before your conscious is aware about it. For example, we all know that red color immediately catches our attention, and we don't really have to think that the red color represents danger. Right? This attributes of pre-attentive attributes, like the thickness of the color, the size of the circle, the motion, the color, the curvatures, like all of these are very interestingly used in a data visualization. That basically makes sure that in a very small amount of time, a person is able to grab attention and kind of focus on where there is specific pattern or a specific message that can be derived out of all the noise and all the terabytes and petabytes of data that we have. Let's go on to see what are the different types of data visualization. Right? This is not necessarily types of data visualization, but this is how data visualization could be categorized. There could be more ways, but I think these are at least the bare minimum ways that we would need to kind of understand. Let's start from the top left corner, the explanatory and the exploratory. The explanatory are simple data visualizations where you have to explain some numbers, where you know the facts and you want to kind of pass the message. You would want to kind of give the message to your the CXO, saying how the sales are happening, how the campaigns are running, what are the products that are making sense, which regions are doing good. Those are all just explanatory. You're just explaining the facts. Whereas the exploratory is where you really do not know what's causing a drop in a sale, or what's causing a product to kind of shoot up suddenly out of the roof in terms of its sale, what is making the customers lose, what is causing the churn. That is all exploratory, where you have to really start going through a stack of data, and hopefully you would be able to kind of derive some insights and then take it back to business to validate if it makes sense. Let's move on to the objective and persuasive. Objective categorization is more where you can actually just prove the numbers and give the facts and the numbers, whereas persuasive is where you have to make a point, something in the like the example that we just saw before, where John wanted to make a point that cholera is something which is not airborne, it is waterborne, and it is caused by bad quality of water. He had a hypothesis and he wanted to pursue his hypothesis with data visualization, and that's what he did. That's the pursuance. Infographics and data visualization almost very similar, but infographics is probably more one-time, where you would use one-time data sets and make storyboards, and this is what you will see very rapidly in newspapers going from today or tomorrow, where you will start seeing all the trends on voting that happening and the trends that you would see in newspapers or magazines, or the stories that you would see in probably the Economic Times or the equivalents on the economics are more of infographics. Whereas data visualization is something which an organization would want to use in a more repetitive form, which runs off an underlying data set, which could be automated and it could be industrialized. Right? Moving on to the data art, this is where basically people start getting more creative with data, and they can use almost any form of the data, any type of the data, to come up with a nice art form. For example, somebody basically picked up all the possible colors in a picture, and he tried to prove a point that some specific use of pixel and color pixels and colors tend to basically attract more attention of movie watchers. Or essentially, what are the notes in the most famous musics that has caused that music to become successful? And they actually use that data and underlying data structures to prove that point in almost a very visually appealing in an art form. Versus business intelligence, which is more where you would use traditional BI tools to kind of explore and take back the message to your organization. With that, just let's spend like maybe a 30-second on a specific example, and not that we'll go through all the examples given what we have on our time. This is an example of infographics, right? In terms of how typically numbers are used in advertising and how they are used to kind of pass a very powerful message, and it is typically used using one single one-time data, and that is not repetitive, and most probably it is done or built using creative people who have got flair to arts. Versus data visualization, where we are going to now start getting more into data visualization per se, specifically in this session. Okay, let's